Hey, this is George. Welcome to the show. Just want to remind you that some of the things we talk about might jump into spoiler territory, so please read the show notes or check out bddsci-fi.com for a full list of potential spoilers. Thanks for listening, and without further ado, here are Kevin, Adam, and myself, the Busy Daddies Do Sci-Fi podcast.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Alright, easy. This is producer Vic. What do you guys think you're doing? It's called The Busy Daddies Do Sci-Fi. Daddies, plural. Get your asses in the studio together. You got it? Oh, jeez. Alright. And no seltzer this week. You get water.
So are we rolling?
We're rolling. So what about now? The case that you made for doing this intro was something like there needs to be an intro because that's just what you're used to. It's the standard convention.
Oh, I'm not used to anything because I don't really listen to these.
Okay.
But like,
All right.
well, there's usually something.
When
There's
I
usually
hear-
like a bam 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 bam.
The being the busy daddy science fiction.
Well, no matter what we do to
Which
start
is-
it, it's got to be more interesting than this.
Yeah. No, that's it.
All right, good. We got our intro.
Cool.
Okay, hey. So we're doing this.
Listener, good evening,
Good evening.
good morning, good commute, or whatever you
Whatever time frame
Yeah.
you might find yourself in right now.
exercising, watching her
Or
at the
not.
gym, doing what? Hey.
I don't exercise.
I,
you know.
listener, it depends. I think one of them does.
One of them does, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're the Busy Daddies. This is Kevin and George. This is George. I'm not going to speak for Kevin.
And this is Kevin and George. This is Kevin. Oh yeah, good times.
We're minus an Adam still. Man, I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
My dreams have somehow been more filled with him lately.
Really?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to hear that voice
Yeah.
going, oh yeah, you guys, you moved on without
Yeah.
me.
It's missed.
Yeah.
It's certainly missed.
He'll come back though. Some of us have to fight, and others of us dodge the space draft. Is it space draft?
Man, we have got some science fiction to talk about, don't we?
After all,
We do. Got taken to task a little bit by Kevin last week during his solo act for not listening to, not watching the movie Advantageous.
you did listen to the solo act though.
I listened
It was
to the
pretty
solo
good.
act. It
Yours was
pretty
great,
good.
by the way.
Thank
I
you.
laughed out loud in my kitchen with headphones on.
Thank
It
you,
was-
man.
it
I
was
enjoyed
fun.
yours very much. I got a call right afterwards from Vic and from Stephanie. Vic, well, they call at the same time. But,
It depends. I'm with her both. Yeah. What do you say?
it's between me and Vic.
He does that.
He does
he's
that.
Always doing that.
Yeah, he's always
man.
playing.
Yeah, that's
he's
it.
always playing
Yeah.
sides. Is that your phone?
Yeah.
You don't silence
It's gonna-
that thing?
Now it's going to be on silent.
Like we're in church?
Yeah. We are in church.
We are in
by
church,
the way.
man.
We've broken into a church
We're
tonight.
in the church. Hence the echo.
Yes. Yeah.
We're in the church of science fiction here, man. I texted you earlier today.
Yeah.
And I said
Kinda
I
left
just
me,
watched.
left me hanging
Yeah.
out there.
I just watched Advantageous. I got it in while Jack was taking a nap. I've somehow been blessed with a 3.5-year-old who still naps for more than 2 hours.
You were
man.
taking a nice ride on that one, by the
It's
way.
really,
that,
really
that
cool.
usually goes away.
What's going to happen is I think my body is just going to go into like shock the day he just decides I'm done with this. You know, like because
Yeah.
I really do. I count on it, man.
Or you'll have another child, and everything is going to go away
And
before
everything's-
he even
yeah.
stops
Yeah.
napping. Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
in the cards. But I mean, yeah. We'll. So yeah, and then you texted me and ...
Yeah. He goes, I just watched Advantageous, and I go, and And no response, which made me think exactly what you were thinking.
What was I thinking?
You were waiting to pan this movie.
I was wondering, where did this fucking cool movie come from?
You were!
Totally.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, man.
It was in the Upstream Color Hello, Where'd You Come From?
I had a
place.
blast with it,
Yeah.
man. Advantageous is a movie directed by Jennifer Phang. It came out in 2013.
Jennifer Phang?
Phang. No, PH. So, that may have been racist.
It depends. If for 2:30.
It depends. 2:30. Phang. Jennifer Phang, if you are among our listenership.
Or hanging out with Patrick Rothfuss, trying to find where we live.
The clan of anti-busy daddies that will soon be picketing outside of our apartment. Me and Kevin are located in Highland Park. We'll give you that much.
Yeah.
And that's only because I really like a fair game. Yeah, man, I dug it a lot. It was basically, you've got, what would you say future-wise? 40, 50 years in the future?
Yeah, we're in 2065-ish, 2070 kind of thing.
Pretty drones flying all over the place. Skyline is all kinds of crazy. Terrorist attacks seem like a daily occurrence.
And that's just going on kind of, no comment, just boom.
Once in a while.
Something.
Little news
Yeah.
in the background.
Just
But
kind of part of the atmosphere.
that's the thing I loved about it is nothing was really... There was no big exposition as far as the world. Women are slowly
Becoming less fertile.
de-evolving. They are basically infertile now. Less women are able to have children. Mm-hmm. You get the idea that women are very, very quickly going completely back. There's some talk with her employer at one point where they say, yeah, we're just kind of letting women stay unemployed because that's a lot better than a bunch of desperate men being unemployed. So it's not even like the women's right movement has just halted. It progressed to a point and now it's just peeling back. And there's a lot of disease, it looks like. And you've got this woman who's the face of not a cosmetics, biocosmetic industry, which sort of specializes in what seems like very, very expensive rejuvenations without plastic surgery.
Yes.
And their new big thing is a full body transfer, like
being sleeved in the Richard
K.
Morgan
term.
Yeah. But we're talking the first wave.
Yeah.
Like they've got the advertising package. They've done the studies. I haven't really put one public yet.
That's what I loved about it was they're ready to push and they don't even have like she's the first civilian. She's like
that's like hey, we got this butter substitute called Olean. Your ass may leak, but you know what? Let's just get it out.
And then 3 years later, it's like, oh, by the way, all these people's asses are leaking.
Mm-hmm. Remember the
what are we
Olean
gonna do
Doritos?
now? Yeah, dude. Like there was a. I remember there being a little warning if you go and look. There's a little warning like you may want to wear dark pants or something like.
Because these Doritos are so fucking good. Yeah.
And this woman who's the face of the industry, she's getting a little old, and they want to appeal to a younger demographic. So, and I'm not even doing an adequate job of explaining this because at the heart of it is this whole story, the mother-daughter tale. And it's fantastic. She's willing to basically do anything for her daughter.
But because of this decline, she needs a lot of cash to get her daughter placed in a school so she might not hit the streets in an eerily portrayed child prostitution thing that's going on that these girls have to do because there's just no jobs and there's this sort of this calm understood desperation.
There's that little girl playing at the playground putting on high heels in one scene.
With a mask.
With a mask
weird,
on.
like,
yeah, like she's changing off of
like
her.
it's almost like the mask lets you know that this, but the lady who's getting older doesn't have the cash. So she says, let me be the first. And then let me be the face of this company.
Pop my current consciousness, as it's understood, pop my current consciousness into a brand new, younger, more attractive body as your marketing team wants.
And the precocious 13, 14-year-old daughter gets it.
Love how
and
it's explained.
They green light it.
So a 13-year-old would be like, yeah, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And it kind of showed the way the world had changed, that these things are just kind of commonplace. Like, things are a little bit less, I don't know, it's almost like less emotional. There seemed like an almost coldness to it. The way she was explaining these things, while there being like a very, very strong love story between her and her daughter. And it was kind of, it wasn't expected, but I loved the kick. I loved, if you do not want this spoiled.
Is that our new thing?
I'd say stop the podcast now and zoom a few minutes into it.
Put your child to sleep tomorrow. While it's napping, watch Advantageous, and then resume this recording right now.
Yeah.
So we need Adam, and we need Robot Adam to be like, don't fucking spoil it. I love
spoil that.
Yeah. Because you know what? If you chopped Advantageous up and watched it in any order, you'd still supposedly feel the tension. Isn't that what he said? Like, we can't traditionally go through narratives. Anyways, it doesn't matter, listener, because you should stop tape or...
Well, we're still gonna. Now they're back, and we're gonna spoil
back.
it.
Hey, what's up? Yeah,
you fucking die, is the thing.
Yeah, well, that's okay. This is where we.
That's the kick. That's the thing.
We're spoiling for the sake of conversation.
Yes, This is not a transference. This is not a. You die, and your memories are copied and implanted into a new.
It's a copy paste. Well, but depending on what that tech actually means. I mean, that might be what it is.
I thought it was made pretty clear. You are not a continuation.
He says
your awareness ends.
But the love factor is there.
Yeah.
And so, is love alive because of the memory transference, or is there some stuff that gets through? And so,
well, he mentions at one point your animal connection to your daughter will come through. There's a transition period after this is done. You're basically near death for like a year.
Yeah. Oh, and they're like, it's pain.
It's a lot of pain.
Pain all the time. And you're in a chronic state of pain. You take injections to help your lungs kind of slow down and stop working, and then the injection kind of keeps you breathing for a while, and a lot of cool stuff. Really subtle. I mean, there's some stuff going on with like the faces of the buildings.
Yeah, the
giant, like just sort of strange pieces of the skyline and
skyscrapers as sculptures with fountains. Just like the design was really cool for a movie that probably didn't have a lot of money to play with.
Well, and this is lo-fi sci-fi?
Lo-fi sci-fi, yeah.
I mean, and once again,
it was a Sundance darling. I looked it up. Like
it was a Sundance darling?
Oh yeah, it was one of those like
Sundance darling heading out in the Netflix dumpster.
Here you go. Here's a little Sundance for you.
I was at Sundance when the Blair Witch Festival sold their movie.
Really?
I was on the shuttle bus with them after they had made their deal. And
what'd you think of that movie?
I saw the unedited version. And it was amazing. By the time I hyped it up and showed people a version that was cut, it didn't do the same thing.
I enjoyed the hell out of it when I first saw it.
It was great.
Yeah.
Now it's like whatever. But back then it was a big deal.
Yeah, it was a big deal. I would probably still enjoy it if I watched it, I think.
I remember just like thinking like maybe they actually stepped on something really evil.
I got I got super into because they sold like companion books that were from the point of there was a companion book that was like a collection of missing articles and drawings from the whole story of like this woman from Blair who ends up being the witch and what the hell that went through and everything.
I think it made me. It just touched what was imprinted in me as a very young boy is the Jersey Devil mythology.
Oh, dude, that's exactly it. Yeah, the woods. It's the woods, man. Woods are
sand
scary,
piles.
dude.
Yeah.
That's where you go. You go to the woods. You go to the woods to be scared, then you go to the woods to drink beer, and you go to the woods every once in a while and hopefully find a Playboy that some of the older kids left.
I was gonna say maybe you get to make some whoopee in the woods, but finding the Playboys is where you want to top off.
That's my pinnacle, and yours are different. I never got to make whoopee in the woods.
Tell me you found a Playboy in the woods.
Every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
Every once in a
like
while.
the same spot?
In the woods in Northvale, New Jersey, you would walk around, and, it's off the tracks, and there was just these communal areas. Sometimes,
communal areas.
yeah,
People
there'd be
smoke
couches,
dope and drink
people
beer.
smoke
Couches,
drink beers and stuff, and every once in a while, you just be kicking around.
That's where you leave the Playboys.
Find a Playboy.
Totally.
Find a Playboy or two. I learned a lot.
I learned a lot.
Learned a whole
Those
lot
articles were great back then.
What else was I going to...
I don't know, man.
Yes, and the cartoons were great, too. Playboy cartoons were good.
They were,
but man, Advantageous was a good ride. It was a lot of fun. I'd totally recommend it.
It's
do you
smooth.
remember? It's very smooth.
It's just like you're like watching it. If you're a fan of the sci-fi and you like the nuances of a world, and then there's a good story in it. I mean, that's what did it for me. You're like, you don't need to tell it to me all, but I feel something has gone on here, and then you just get to be in there.
There were like elements of. There was almost some like Terry Gilliam type stuff when she goes and meets the other moms at that lunch.
And one's really sick, and she's in decline,
and she's going down, and the other one is sort of just like the kind of grand master of it, and she's saying, "Oh, your husband's not in the picture."
And they're kind of cake facey, but weird, and Victorian parlory, but future. Terry Gilliam would be a great way to put that. I also wanted to say that in the lo-fi sci-fi kind of thing that we're sort of cataloging, this reminds me, it could have been an hour and a half long Black Mirror.
You told it to me like that.
Similar to How Ex Machina, one of our first podcasts where we spoke about that, and then those themselves. There's just something about, it's a story, but maybe it's just the way cell phone tech is, that you're about 60 to 80 out there. Rainbow's End, Werner Vinge did the same thing to me in a book form. Because there was, she could be monitored by her employee. There are clearly speakers and cameras everywhere.
Yeah, and I got the sense that was something that, anyone at an elite level could kind of do.
Right, and then also, and then remember how she picks up calls and stuff? There's just...
No, she's just...
They're just you just answer.
She's just answering, and you're walking and talking. Mm-hmm. But then there's also holographic phone calls that she's making when she's at her home. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, this movie has got James Urbaniak, who's
a maniac.
Some of the James Urbaniak, the maniac.
Who is that? Is that the
James
boss?
Urbaniak is the boss. He is also probably best known as the voice of Jonas Venture on the Venture Brothers, which is one of the best written cartoons I've seen in years. And Ken Jeong, the dude from Hangover.
Yes, who's in there.
Who's fucking great.
Playing the straight man, the shamed straight man.
I saw him and I was like, okay, countdown to seeing his
also,
wiener.
I don't know from Hangover. I also know him from what's the college show? Community.
Oh, Community. Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would
He's
be more
expanding his portfolio.
But he plays a straight man. Straight man plays her sister's husband, who she had an affair with, and is the father of her daughter. And
yeah,
spoiled the fuck out of that one.
Yeah.
All right.
That's like I said though. It's worth it. You could have read that on Wiki to have it play out is what you want to see. If you're a sci-fi fan, you're gonna like what they did.
It really doesn't matter. You could have told me. You could have told me the whole but really what happens is that they die and they just get copied, and I still would have watched this movie and enjoyed the hell out of it because of the atmosphere that's created.
Because it does a punchline and they get by it.
Yeah.
It's very sweet how it ends in the end.
Totally.
And
totally.
Yeah. It's just you want to watch. Having known the bare bones, you'd want to see how they did that in a movie.
Did you ever see FREEJACK?
No.
No? Emilio Estevez?
No, I mean, I know of it.
Anthony
do
Hopkins.
Do I see the box? What's the box look like?
I think
Is
the
it
box
VHS?
might be, it's a VHS, yeah. Yeah, it's he's a race car driver who dies in a crash and
Who dies in a
dies in a
popcorn accident?
What the fuck? I'm trying to do some TJ Hooker there or something. I don't know. Who dies in a car crash of some car.
So I'd say if this race car driver doesn't die in a car crash, there's some shit.
But what
We need
ends
to
up
talk to these people
what ends up
about.
happening is the rich from the future reach back in the past and orchestrate these people's deaths. And at the moment of their deaths, pull them into the future so that they can have a fresh body to download their minds into if they're dying. So by that, this was way better than FREEJACK. I just want to use that as a comparison.
But so, like, you come into the future and are like, hey, we might have just killed you in a car crash, but you got a whole lot better deal. Or they're just
it's
they're
a
just,
shitty deal.
They're flesh mining.
They're flesh mining. It's like, look, here's the deal. You were going to die. This was the moment of your death. We know about it because we're in the future. What we did was we pulled you from that moment, brought you here, but we didn't really save your life. All you're going to do is be the host for this rich guy who is dying.
So, but how is his consciousness? How does he know that why are they even telling him this if the body's just in use?
Well, they had to tell him this because if you escape from containment, like normally it's just like you're pulled, bam, you're off. If you escape, you're called a FREEJACK.
So before you are rented
Yes.
or bought by the... So it's funny you say that. I started reading the book called A Planet for Rent by Yoss, Y-O-S-S, who is a Cuban rock star who happens to write
Tell me
sci-fi.
about this.
And he's got a whole tech as we set this world up that there are aliens that come down. The planet's been wrecked. The aliens stopped it, put a freeze on everything, hit a mass weapon of destruction, and said, "You play around with that stuff, you play around with this planet anymore, we do it again." So everyone falls in line, and there are people that get sold into body share. Or if you're a criminal, you become in body sharing, and then you can come down and, as an alien who might be an insectoid, and rent a human frame and trash it. Like a rental car.
Like a rental
Like
car.
a rental car.
Like just take
But
it on a bender.
The tech is not 100% good, so about 40% of the people experience being stuck in their own body with this other kind of alien presence who's like, like having sex with horses because that's what they like
And
to do.
you're kinda-
I imagine like decadent sheiks of the insect
You're
realm.
kind of like the background. Like you're there.
Yeah,
and you're like, let me out of
which
this.
Makes which makes people crazy and cuckoo. And so this lead character has lost a
that is
a
cool,
friend
man.
into
What's the name of it?
Planet for Rent by Yoss. It's a little, I don't know, man. I stopped reading Peter F. Hamilton. By the way, Vic, I saw that note you put on the webpage.
Peter F. Hamilton.
I went on that whole thing about you put that K in your middle name, and there weren't that many K's in sci-fi after all. Now you're stuck with it.
Now you're stuck with it.
Was it Kirk? You went Kirk, right?
It wasn't Kirk.
George Kirk Schenectady?
No.
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 Was it Kirk?
I don't know what you're talking about right now, I'll tell you the truth. What are we talking
No,
about?
I don't know. I went away. There was all these K. Remember,
What did I do?
Vic suggested that you get a K in the middle name?
Oh, right.
Yeah, no.
No.
Yeah. Clearly Stephanie got to you.
In one ear, out the other with that guy sometimes. Like almost, like literally. Sometimes I talk to him, and he'll leave, and it'll just completely, it'll be like, people have to tell me sometimes I don't know, man. Sometimes I think there's something going on with that guy.
Well, they're producing the show, so hey.
Well,
I mean, maybe he could pay for the seltzer that we don't have.
he could pay for the seltzer we don't have. Or, next time,
Don't do it.
not. I'm not gonna do it.
Don't do
I'm
it.
drinking water. It's fine. I'm grateful for the
Grateful
for the water.
Grateful for water.
Grateful for the water without bubbles.
Yeah, their stores are open though.
Fine.
Anyone could have bought
It's
seltzer
9:30. Anybody.
on the way.
Anyone.
Anybody could have picked up some seltzer on the way home
Anybody who
after getting to be with friends.
getting.
Well, what were you doing here at the house?
I was
Putting the boy to sleep.
bathing Jack, washing his
Toiling,
hair. You know?
washing his hair. Yeah.
You know, I got this great trick where I just I plaster a couple of little these bathroom tile sponges. Put them up there. He looks up. I wash the hair. No tears. That's how I wash
good.
the hair.
That's good.
Yeah, it goes right up there. Like, hey, buddy, look at the cow. You know, moo. Right up. It's good.
That is good.
Yeah.
We are busy daddies.
We
happen to do sci-fi. Sometimes you get the daddy end of the stick. Sometimes you get the sci-fi end of the stick. Sometimes you get the poopy end of the stick, and you get pink eye for George.
And you get pink eye.
Yeah, hey, and you've
Dude,
been with us for that, listener.
I went to LA Central today for the first time.
Library.
Central Library, man.
Yeah.
Never been there before.
The wife was just thinking about doing that with the boy tomorrow.
It's awesome. I took out 16 Thomas the Tank Engine books.
Hey, what's your overdue?
Oh, I'm
Number
solid.
at?
Oh, I'm solid, baby.
$9.99.
I'm good.
They're like, you need to
I got
keep it under
zero.
$10 to be able to rent, and you're over. It's like, how much is it? $10.40. Okay, I'm gonna give you 41 cents.
You know what I did? I parked in the lot connected to the library.
Did you get a ticket?
I go down there. We're just ringing through right now. Come on. Here's a couple. Let me feed George some bones here. Huh? Where's that seltzer, pal?
All you gotta do is talk about.
Where's that seltzer? How about them pocket tickets, buddy? Library fines. What do we got?
As the narrative grows, listener,
I go
you get it.
I go in a lot, and it's $14 when I leave, man, and then I go back up and validate it down to $1. Pretty sweet.
That's good.
I think Thomas the Tank Engine's got some heavy things going on in it.
Does it?
All right, written by a reverend.
I thought, should be a Rush concept album.
We've heard that,
Yes,
yeah. Well, Island of Sodor. That was the thing
Yeah.
we talked about before. Yeah.
The Island of Sodor.
Island of Sodor.
Yeah.
But anyway, what else, man? We got, dude. Have you noticed? We live in Highland Park. I mentioned that before. You noticed the insane amount of hipsters running around York Boulevard playing Pokemon Go?
I haven't seen one, but
You haven't seen one?
no. But you told me that you had a friend texting you, and in a sane state of mind, he mentioned that there was a Pokemon outside of one of the establishments he was visiting.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, that's Pokemon Go. We started this conversation on the phone this morning, and then George and I literally said we needed to be recording or not talking at all.
Yeah.
Because Pokemon is the Matrix way of covering up horrible world affairs.
I wrote on the my son's little whiteboard here. It says Pokemon Go, the Matrix. It's not cool.
Or Pokemon Go is not go.
Pokemon Go is go.
It's not go.
It's go.
Well,
It's go,
means
man.
thumbs up. So
no,
it's not
no,
go.
it doesn't. It doesn't mean thumbs up. You're wrong.
Bull
Pokemon Go
is go.
is go.
Means it's great.
And you're saying it's no go. That it's no good.
Well, we hadn't established that. I think it's no good.
I don't love it.
Yeah.
It's not a full go. Now that we're on the same page with what go means.
You should have stopped at that. That was a red light.
I don't stop at red lights.
Because that's not
All
what
right.
go means.
Which, by the way, have you ever been in the car with Vic when he's driving? Because he doesn't stop at red lights. All right,
He's got
but
like
anyway.
a Chrysler 300, man.
He
He's
zips
just
right
got,
fucking
yeah,
through
he's
him.
got some. Oh, he's one of those under the hood kind of guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fresh
Get
coat
something under the
of
hood.
primer,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, anyway,
he was mortified when he had that primer.
I have seen a lot of these articles, man, about how much info Pokemon Go is collecting from your phone, how much personal data that it's mining while it's going on. And I used to be a much bigger conspiracy theorist than I am now. I really don't indulge in them at all, other than I do believe that aliens killed John F. Kennedy. You know, but
You're sticking to that one.
Sticking to that one hardcore.
Well, doesn't that set up a whole bunch of other ones?
What, oh, you mean like aliens and the
Well,
fact
I mean,
that-
come on, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Did they give you instructions for the pyramid?
No, Jewish people built the pyramid. Right?
I don't know.
Sure.
You going there?
No,
Yeah.
not at all. I just got terrified as I realized. Well, that's part of the. That's all right. Backing off, Jennifer Phang. Kevin said it first.
There's nothing wrong with Jennifer Phang. I'm punning about teeth.
Funny about beef.
You know what?
But Pokemon Go, man, it's like everywhere.
So great. At 7:41 this morning, this was a riveting conversation.
It's
what's,
not so
what's
much
happening
now.
right now?
No, yeah.
They're mining your data. They probably released this to. If you've ever listened to Noam Chomsky, this is going to make sense. They put this in the news and out into the public to hide the horrible things that are going on. So enjoy your controlled oil fields and let the party begin.
So just another in the series of distractions, basically.
I mean, it could be.
So,
that's
but
how
if
they
you
covered up the aliens shooting Kennedy. Anyways.
But if you indulge in that idea, then are you also indulging in the idea that it's all somehow connected? Like that there are machinations behind the endless distractions, or that this is just the nature of the world?
No, this is just the quickest, most easiest thing I can say about that. I mean, when the articles about data mining, why are they? What? So what?
I don't know. I haven't actually
read
them.
So what? Like, wouldn't it be great? You know what bothers me about data mining? How come pop up on my Facebook the drill I already bought? Since you're sourcing from what I have been searching for, can't you predict what I want to buy next? Come on, tech.
Yeah, it does seem
it's
almost
like thanks. Yes,
yeah.
You pop up the hotel that I made reservations for.
Yes.
That's great. Whoa.
Well done,
hey.
Matrix.
I'll think about that when I'm going there.
It does. I
great.
mean, when I'm like on the website, and anytime you see those Amazon pop-ups, it's all stuff that I've like either bought or looked about.
Or realized I ain't never buying that anyways.
Buying it.
Oh, that was cool to
But
think that I was going to buy those. Yeah.
So, I mean, I can't really feel like, all doom and gloom about this when really the extent of this data mining gets to, hey, check it out, it's that thing you've already seen. And not anything revelatory where that would somehow... it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
See? It doesn't.
Episode Volume 2?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Well, glad you're on board.
Yeah. Whew. Yeah. All right.
Apology accepted.
But maybe you watched Advantageous.
Check it out,
Probably
man.
not. Yeah.
I dug it. Yeah, cool flick. Don't worry about Pokemon Go, listener.
No.
Don't worry
What
about
are you
it.
going to do?
Yeah.
Unless you're not listening to us because you're playing Pokemon Go, then of course you might have a problem.
You could do both at the same time.
Beyond Pokemon Aid.
It's good.
Yeah, isn't it?
Good. There's a...
Patrick Rothfuss and who else is going to be chasing us down now?
Jennifer Phang and Patrick Rothfuss. So should I put them on like the official enemies list, or do we wait for them to attack?
No, this is actually a cry for help. Hopefully they're going to locate us, and we'll meet them and like all become friends.
Cry for help from us or from them? Like,
It depends. If you're talking about Patrick Rothfuss.
Oh, he's on it.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
I got a guy I've
basically
told about
destroyed
this
his
stuff,
life.
and he's like, man, that's not what he's doing. I said, hey, man, I just heard that on the internet.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the same excuse that Donald Trump uses, I think, all the time. Yeah.
Google it.
Google it. Google
right.
it, people.
Mm-hmm.
So while you're Googling it, we're gonna try and get in touch with Adam. Pray for him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thanks for listening. You can subscribe to Busy Daddies Do Sci-Fi on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If you listen, please take the time to rate and review. Reviews keep us on the charts, and that way people can find us. You can follow us at BDD Sci-Fi on Twitter and Instagram, or if you want to learn more about the Busy Daddies, check out bddsci-fi.com. Thanks for listening, and see you every other Wednesday.